bringing you to the point of the cloud and today, what are some of the more kind of hot trends that you're seeing in the space at the moment? So we've got kind of big data, and with that comes security fear and fraudulent activity and various other things such as mobile. I mean, what would you say is going to be the focus this year, 2014? It's been mobile for so long. And
I think it's a really interesting market. There's a lot of flux, and there's lots of noise going in the market, a huge amount of investment in mobile, and which I think is fine and dandy, because I think we do need fresh thinking and new ideas. I decided not to use the word innovation at that particular stage, because I think this is fresh minds, fresh ideas, young people coming into the business that have a different type of experience that's not wedded to tradition. I think that big data is a huge element of this thing. It's how you control that data, and the responsibilities and obligations for storing that data are paramount importance, particularly to us in our environment and to other organisations that are delivering through. And I think that mobile is going to play a huge part in people's life and experiences. It's almost overtaken the youngsters today. It's a digital world. They're digital natives. They certainly understand the power of smart devices. I think electronic wallets and mobile wallets are going to play a huge part in this. We've seen a lot of change from Barclays with some of their products in terms of utilisation of mobile as a service deliverable, the same with RBS and the other major banks. And so I see that the change is going to be phenomenal. The challenge is, how do you keep up with that pace of change? And particularly from a corporate perspective, security is 100%, 110% on the radar, compliance, audit, and also cash management. So all those combine to deliver a very interesting and opportune experience for new vendors coming into the marketplace.
For Invapay, you've made some great inroads in emerging markets over the past year. What's kind of the plan going forward, and what do you envisage for the company?
Oh, total world domination, of course. I mean, that's really it. So what we're seeing is that our aspirations are somewhat similar to our customers' aspirations. Our customers happen to be the big buying organisations that are looking to get better value out of their relationships with their suppliers, improve the operational efficiency of the business, and actually empower their folks to make decisions. And of course, digital technology and instant technology actually allows them to do that piece. It gives them that freedom to buy, if you like, and the power for the organisation to control. And what we're seeing in the marketplace is a huge drive to empower staff within organisations. Huge drive. They're trusted individuals within the business. They're doing a good job. And some of the traditional processes are actually an inhibitor in terms of growth. So they're very conscious on how they can look at those processes and change for the good. Right. And change so it's more relevant to today's business. And the global marketplace is a huge opportunity for all businesses. But I think they need to be in the cloud, they need to be digital, they need to be highly secure, they need to have propositions that are fit for purpose and actually deliver true value. And I think there's going to be some people dropping off the edge, because I think this always happens with all these new technologies. But I think there's a great opportunity for globally, the global village, to actually elevate itself and get much more efficient. Is that the right word? Or much more connected? And I think it's hugely exciting.
Okay, so we've spoken about kind of optimising the process for businesses, and would you be able to tell us what kind of industries you're seeing more traction in, or you have more involvement in, and where you're looking to kind of expand more?
I'll be happy to do that. We're seeing a huge interest from public sector organisations. Public sector organisations are under tremendous pressure to reduce costs to the taxpayer, irrespective of which country you're in. Wherever I've travelled, the inference has always been they've got to suppress the cost of these public sector organisations, who, however, in the past have actually expanded quite exponentially without too much adherence. I wouldn't say adherence is the right word, but the cost was actually getting out of control. And so in consequence, wherever I go, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in the Far East, whether it's in the Americas or across Europe, is actually suppressing the costs to the taxpayer is a really vital part of what they're doing. That's number one. Number two, actually processing and becoming much more efficient so they can start reporting earlier in the cycle is a major importance to them. But also one message that's coming out very, very strong is they wanted a better engagement process with their supplying communities. So all their supplier bases, they're looking very much at how they can connect with them, how they can deliver opportunities to these suppliers to make it easier for them to bid for work. Whereas traditionally it's been quite a long, drawn-out process. And so the UK government has got their SME inclusion agenda, which we absolutely 100% applaud, because it's driving more business into the SME community from the government base, providing them with accelerated payment solutions, and so in consequence they're not having to wait 30, 60 or 90 days for their money. All those pieces add to delivering a much more buoyant economy. It also helps the SME with confidence so they can invest in their businesses. And the biggest inhibitor to business investment and job creation is cash flow. So if you can actually improve the cash flow, and I know that the UK government are very conscious of this now, whether it's bank provided funding, but more importantly the buying organisations pay earlier in the cycle. They can only pay earlier in the cycle if they improve the efficiencies of the relationship between the buyer and the seller and the mechanisms that allow the transactions to fly. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that very much in the public sector, but also equally as important in the private sector. And so whereas the private sector are interested in shareholder value, the public sector are interested in delivering better value services to the taxpayer. So it's one and the same.
Thank you for joining us today, Sid, and we wish you all the best at Invapay.
Thank you very much and appreciate your time.
Thank you.